Our exclusive series, Top 10 Right Now, debuts this weekend. We begin with top 10 center fielders right now in the game. We do this every year. It's an extremely useful exercise to see the state of the game, rank all the talent. We do every position, and then we rank the top 10 in order. Mike Petriello was part of our analytics super panel that we did all of the positions today with Sarah Langs and Ben Lindbergh. So I don't want to go to you first. I want to go to these guys first because we're just dealing with this one position. We're starting with center field. Are you tested at all at the top, Trout versus Bellinger? Bellinger had a 9-win season, Mike, had a monster year. He's 4 years young, because I know it's Mike Trout, but he's 4 years younger. Are you even tested there?
I'm not tested. I mean, for me, Mike Trout is the best player in the league, and until I see a dip in his production, he will remain the best player in the league. That's not to knock Cody Bellinger. I mean, I would have him 2, and I even throw George Springer in there as 3. And for me, after those 3, there's a decent drop-off in talent. Okay. I think those 3 really set themselves apart.
Is there a test? Because I took a good long look at Trout versus Bellinger. How about it?
I'm trying to differentiate between how much a better offensive player do you have to be than a defensive player to make that argument. And right now, Mike Trout doesn't show any of those cases. I mean, Bellinger, if you can make the case, is rising like crazy because this dude could play anywhere. Right. I mean, he's showing off his defensive skills in a way that I don't think Mike Trout could show off at first base necessarily and putting him in positions that Bellinger was in. But, you know, I also know that where I'm playing matters, right, from a center field standpoint. And because Jackie Bradley hasn't been able to hit, I still got to have him in my top 10 because of where he plays and what he does when he plays defensively. Now, that's not going to bode well from a metric standpoint because his offense doesn't come anywhere close. But from a pure defensive aspect of him in Fenway Park, he's a beast out there.
Well, but you know
but I had the top 3 just like...
Did you do a top 10, though? Did you do a top 10?
I put X's down and tried to get him in ranking, but he would have been my 10th. I would have been...
See, I couldn't get it. Here's the thing, too, because there are a whole bunch... Now, I'm not holding against Bradley. There's a whole bunch of defensive specialists, like Kevin Kiermaier is a great defensive player. Victor Robles is a great defensive player, and they're all not hitting a ton, right? But you want to get some defensive guys in there in center field. Let me start with the top. How tested are you, Trout, Bellinger?
In no way whatsoever.
Okay.
Everything Mike and John said is absolutely correct. Trout is the best player in baseball. Is probably going to be the best player who, at least lived in my generation, right? There's no question he's number 1. Bellinger 2, Springer 3. Not much of a question for me about any of that. Then you get to number 4 and you start thinking, like, Lorenzo Cain has had the name value, but really didn't have a very good season, right? Kiermaier hasn't been able to stay healthy or hit well. I actually went with Starling Marte as number 4 because he's been consistent, except for that one bad year. Been like a 3 to 4 win player every single year. And I did go with my defensive specialist later on. I thought about Jackie Bradley, but I went with Victor Robles just because he has been so spectacular. And he was a rookie last year. There's still room to grow offensively.
By the way, Byron Buxton rates very well defensively, and he slugged .513 last year. Now only in partial season because he got hurt and that sort of thing. But it's not the strong. To your point, it's not the strongest field. When you get to 8, 9, and 10, you are looking at guys like, hey, how hurt is Aaron Hicks? We have Whit Merrifield moving from second to center field, and like my guy that I like an awful lot is Brandon Nimmo. He's not a real center fielder, but the Mets are going to play him there, and the way he hits, I'm going to get him in the top 10. I hear you have a top 5.
I had, after those first 3, I kind of had, from a playing perspective, I did have Starling Marte just like Mike did as 4, and I had Merrifield 5, but I had 2 question marks. My question marks were Byron Buxton because I believe the skill set's there.
Yep.
He's just got to put the body of work together. And Lorenzo Cain, I know his offense was a down year. His defense is stellar. I need to see the offense come back to maybe 2, 3 years ago, and then I think he can jump into that top 5, top 6.
Oh, yeah, look, I have Cain in there now because it comes down to who do you believe more in, Marte, a guy like Ramon Laureano, or Lorenzo Cain. The fact that Cain's defense is the best, like, to me, influences that. But I know what you're saying. Another year of his subpar hitting, and then he's going to get passed by some of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that worries me about Cain is his age, right? I think he's 33 years old. Now, he played through some injuries. I think he was beat up all year, the knee, the toe, all of it. I actually ended up on the same wavelength as Mike here. I had Marte 4th, I had Merrifield 5th, and then I did. I went Buxton, Laureano, and Cain right after that. And like you, Brian, I did have Brandon Nimmo as my number 10 because I believe in the bat. He's 30% above average. He's an okay outfielder. It's fine.
One of the guys that's sneaky for me, got a chance to watch him a little bit, then he got hurt, was Inciarte.
Yeah. Another superior fielder.
Yeah.
But like against his field, like he's got to play. Did not to your point, if you want a guy out on the field. All right. See, I think Laureano, we all thought we do our list independently. I think everybody thought, ooh, I'm going to shock the world by putting Ramon Laureano up high. It's not a shock anymore if you're paying attention, right? He's there.
Yeah, number 7 for me. The bat is good. The defense is great with the highlight reels. It's not actually so great with the metrics because he kind of, botches some of the easy ones. But if you can just clean that up, he's a real star.
Yeah, he's slumped over 500. No, he's hitting. Where do you have him? You have Nimmo circled, by the way. Why that? Is it?
Well, because
good?
Yeah, it's
I like
good.
that.
It's good. And I had that tier of defensive guys. I had, as you could see, Inciarte, Jackie Bradley, and Lorenzo Cain. I said offense can take those guys to the next level. They're just such superior defenders that I think you got to give them consideration.
It's the thing about this is you see when you follow it year to year. Guys are forced out of center field all the time. And one thing, I mentioned this on the show, one thing you never hear is, let's just stick him in center. No, you can't. We think, historically, you can have a big bat in center field. No, you got to have a glove or you'll get scorched.